So today I wanted to get into how you can start self-improvement if you're, say, a beginner or you've never done it before, you're just getting back into it. There's definitely a lot of different ways that people talk about it online where they want you to start bodybuilding, start going to the gym, and start meditating and journaling and going on runs and socializing and all this different stuff. And that's not how you should go about it. I believe in having seasons where you focus on certain things about self improvement. So, in this case, what would I start with if you're just starting self improvement? I would start with pretty obvious. I would start with bodybuilding, but specifically cutting. I would not get into bodybuilding as my first thing and just immediately start trying to bulk up, because most guys, if you're getting into self-improvement, you're skinny fat, your face is all chubby, you got no muscle on you, like you don't need to bulk up because you just got fat on you basically. So what I would suggest to do is get on a cut, just cut down all the fat. And there's different ways you can do it too. You can obviously, there's the dieting and ways you work out. Running is something that you could do. Some people like walking better. I prefer running. Yeah, I like the feeling of just running around. I like scenic runs, so I'll go a lot of the beach. I'll go to different trails. I'll do stuff like that. That's a good way to start cutting, but it also doesn't work out for everybody. So you could also do walking. A lot of girls, you see them in the Stairmaster. It works. You can do that if you really like. But some sort of cardio. And I would just focus on that. Focus on cutting. And while you're doing that, go to the gym. You don't have to go crazy, honestly. Some people are like, oh, you gotta go 5, 6 days a week. You're gonna lose a little muscle. You got no muscle to begin with. Start off just going 3 times a week if you never go to the gym. If you're already going to the gym, just not consistently, start 3 days a week still, maybe 4 if you really feel like it. But always start small and start with something that you can keep up for the rest of your life. And that goes with any self-improvement habit. Don't start self-improvement and immediately go into this phase of, oh, I'm gonna do bodybuilding and journaling, and I'm gonna go on outside, and I'm gonna go socialize, and I'm gonna go all these places and do all these things, because it's not gonna work out, and you're gonna burn out, and you're gonna stop doing all of it. So literally, just start with 3 times a week. Go to the gym. Start with cutting for the first 2 months. I want you to start cutting. Don't go straight into a bulk. Don't just go and obviously going into the gym is going to be good. Just going there, that's a good start. But when you go there, I want you to focus on go to the gym and eat better foods. If you just start eating better foods, or you cut out the snacks, and you cut out the snacks, you'll start losing weight. You don't have to be super strict and go count your macros. It's too complicated, and you really do not need it. It doesn't need to be all fine-tuned when you're first starting out. Focus on cutting. You focus on cutting, you lose all that fat, and after is when you start focusing on not a bulk like everyone shows online, like especially those bodybuilders are on steroids and all this crazy stuff. You get on what is called a lean bulk. And a lot of people know what this means, but for people who don't know, it's basically where you are gonna sit 200 to 300 calories over your calorie maintenance level. So you'll be in a 200 to 300 calorie surplus. What this does is it gives your body enough fuel to build muscle, which is what you need obviously and what you want to get, but you don't go over the top eating 1,000 calories over your maintenance level and getting all that fat. And yes, you still get fat because it's still a surplus, but you're gonna get muscle and not as much fat as you would if you just go on a dirty bulk, because your body can only build so much muscle. And if you're eating 1,000 calorie surplus, you're just gonna get fat, and then you're stuck at skinny fat, again. So when you cut down, you go on a 200 to 300 calorie surplus, and you start there, and then honestly that's basically it. There's many different ways you can go on that cut, because the cut is going to be the hardest part, because you're going to be, first of all, you're eating healthy, which is something that when you're starting self-improvement you probably do not do, honestly. And you also going to be eating less sometimes. And I'm not telling you to count your calories and everything again. I'm just telling you, don't focus on all this calorie trackers and all this stuff. Yes, they're good and they're really useful, but when you're starting, you got no foundation, no discipline, no nothing. You got to start with just eating healthy, going on that cut. And if you want to really make it easier on yourself, there's different stuff you can do. There's supplements. I would definitely recommend take creatine and get protein powder, because you do not get enough protein for sure, and you think you do, and then you're just not. It's so hard to get your protein in, especially when you start getting into those higher weights. If you start off self-improvement and you're 200 pounds, it's going to be hard to get on that protein, because you're supposed to be eating around 0.8 to 1 grams of protein per pound of body weight, and that is not easy to do. You gotta be eating a lot of protein. If you really want to keep it simple, just eat an animal-based diet. If you really want to do something like that, I know there's some people that go on like keto and they go vegan and all that stuff. I do not recommend all of that. You just stick to meats, eggs, fruits, maybe vegetables if you like vegetables, or if that fits in your diet. But I would usually stick to just steaks / ground beef, stuff like that, chicken, any sort of meat, and egg whites make it really easy to cut too. I just started doing egg whites, and I love them so much. They're amazing. You can do egg whites in the morning with some spinach, maybe some sriracha sauce on top of it. 0 calories, so you can just add that on top, and yeah, just do that. Fruits and vegetables, don't worry about the sugar, don't worry about the carbohydrates that it comes with, because at the end of the day, it's fruits. It's something natural. It's natural. Just eat it. Listen, eat those, and you'll be fine. If you don't know what to eat, if you have a preferred healthy diet that you can do, sure, go for it. But don't be like, oh, I'm gonna go on my own diet. I'm gonna fry. No, you're not gonna be frying everything. You eat healthy foods. You know what's healthy. You know what's not. Don't go to Taco Bell and In-N-Out and all this, whatever place you got around you. Don't get all this McDonald's slop, whatever they call it. Just stick to your cutting and then bulk up. And I can get more in depth into this, but for now, this is what I would recommend. And yeah, when you're working out, always focus on the aesthetic muscles, which I can get more into depth like in a different video. But basically, it's like upper chest. You got your shoulders, you got your biceps, because girls like biceps. You got your abs, and you got your lats, and then you got your neck. And all of this, to put it just quickly, it builds that V-taper physique that you're gonna want. So usually people start off kind of more bulky like this, maybe even like this if you're fatter, or some people even have the hourglass, which is crazy because they got gynecomastia, all this stuff. They got the belly fat that makes their hips big and everything. So you start off kind of either boxy, maybe like this a little bit, or you start with more of an hourglass. What this does is it makes you, how the people say they got a Dorito back, whatever. It's just basically what it is. It gives you that V-taper, which is what women look at and be like, that is a strong man, I would have sex with them or whatever. So that's what physique you're gonna want to go for. And it just makes you look better, honestly. The reason why you hit your shoulders so much, especially your side delts, and then your upper chest and your lats, is because it makes your waist look smaller. And I mean, at the same time, makes this look wider. Now, if your waist is smaller, from especially your cut, your waist is gonna get smaller. Your muscle, when you're getting newbie gains, you're gonna grow a lot, so you'll get wider, and you'll build that V-taper, which is exactly what you want. And I'll definitely get more into this in a different video, but this is just what I wanted to talk about. What do you want to do? What do you have to be doing when you first start self-improvement? I would say it's ditch all the bulks, ditch everything, all the habits. Just start with building a physique by cutting first. Cut for 2 to 3 months, depending on how much body fat you have. But usually 2 to 3 months is what you're gonna need when you're first starting out. Cut down, get slimmer, and then use those workouts during the cut and same workouts when you start lean bulking. Get that V-taper physique, and that is that's all you need. You don't need all this crazy stuff of like, oh, look at all these crazy supplements. Supplements, get creatine if you want. You don't need it. You don't need it to start out. You don't need creatine. You don't really need protein powder. Just eat better. Eat better food. Don't be eating fried stuff, processed stuff. Breads are kind of in there, but whatever. Just eat rice, meats, fruits, vegetables, stuff like that. And then when you're lean bulking, also one more thing, make sure you're still eating those foods, and don't be like, since you're going to be in a calorie surplus, instead you're going to be needing a little more calories. This is when you're going to have to start tracking your calories, and I'll get more into that in the future. But you're going to have to start tracking your calories to know how much is a surplus. Don't go and start eating junk food when you're doing that, because you're going to realize, especially when you start tracking your stuff, you go to some McDonald's or whatever, and the stupid little burger and fries are going to be 1,500 calories, and the soda especially. You get all that's going to be like 1,500 calories, and that's like over half your calories for the day, So just don't do that. Stick to cutting, healthy foods, get slimmer, and then use those workouts to get that V-taper physique, and that's basically it.